Hello and welcome to September Magic's YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you my bullet journal setup for the month of March, and the theme for the month is tarot cards. Before I start explaining what I'm doing and how I'm doing, let me tell you that I have no understanding of tarot cards, but I have seen a few tarot readers do their magic, and I've seen their work, and I've seen these beautiful decks online as well as in person, and I must say that the cards are just gorgeous. I just loved the aesthetic element that's attached to it, and of course the elaborate the elements that each card consists. So I will try to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I will try to explain why I chose a particular card or what I understood from it, but I won't try to explain the meaning of the cards or get into the meaning of tarot, because I am no expert and I have no right to even try and explain what these mean. Of course, there's a lot of literature online where you can go and read about tarot. All I understand is it's guidance system for you, to know about your path, your life's journey, and it just guides you in so many different ways when you feel stuck in life. As you can see, I'm trying my best to do a cover page for the month of March, and I'm trying to do a Dutch door. Now, I had to make so many attempts to make this Dutch door because of this one problem that I'm facing with my journal. The journal is gorgeous. It has got like really thick pages and a very faint grid dots, which do not conflict with my drawings, because I like to draw a lot in my journals. Everything is great about this journal except the binding. The binding does not let the book lay flat, and because of that there's this huge dent in the middle of the book, and no matter how much I tried to create this circular Dutch door, I don't know why I went with a circular one. Usually I go with like a rectangular one. I was stuck so badly that I was trying so hard to get it right. So after many attempts, you'll be seeing me figuring out as I'm going what I'm doing, and after many attempts, I absolutely loved the way my cover page turned out. There are so many tarot decks available in the market, and some of them are really elaborate, and the others are just really fun to look at. From Hello Kitty to Pokemon to princesses, name it and you have the theme. There are so many different themed tarot cards, but the most popular one that people choose is the Rider-Waite deck. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I tried going with the Rider-Waite deck as my reference. Now, as I told you, I'm no expert at tarot reading, and I have no idea what are the most important elements in each card. So from an artist's point of view, I picked up the elements that I felt was more appealing. I just picked up those elements and I just included them on my spread. So this page I'm basing on one of the cards, which is called the Seven of Pentacles, and another card which is called the Lovers. So as you can see, the Dutch door has two sections. The first section is just going to show you the title of the month, and the second section is based on the tree-like structure that you see behind the Lovers. So as you can see from the reference image that I'm showing you here of the Lovers card, there are these two tree-like structures behind the Lovers. They are, I think, called the Tree of Life and Knowledge. The one tree had these fruits, and the other tree had these leaf-like, flame-like structure. So that's what I'm using for the second section of my Dutch door. So I am just using that fruit bearing branches on one side of the tree, and the other side just has these orangey flame like leaves on the branches. After drawing the tree, I felt that it lacked drama, and it lacked the magical element that I try to add to all my pages. And so I decided to color the background black and then go over the outline of the tree with gold. This was the most time consuming cover page that I've ever done because of this whole back and forth thingy that I was doing, and also because I was getting all these ideas as I was drawing. Now I did not edit the errors that I was making and all these back and forth steps, because I wanted to show you how human the process is, and no matter how many bullet journal pages you have done, there can be some pages where you get stuck, where you are making errors after errors and you're trying to fix them. Sometimes you fix them, sometimes you don't, but you know, I that's why I've kept it as it is. I've tried to speed it up, but I hope you don't find them boring. So all I can say is, if you've made an error, try to fix it, but if you can't, just go with it, because as you can see, I tried making this circular Dutch door, and it ended up looking more oval than circular. So I tried so many times and in so many ways I tried to fix it, but somehow it was not just working out. So I just thought I'll go with it, you know, I'll just go with the flow and see how it works. For the first part of the Dutch door, I created this black sky like design with this metallic blue clouds. Now for the background of the page, I'm using these coin-like structures. Now these coin-like structures are called pentacles. This is a recurring element on many cards. So the left side of the page is what I intended to be more like the card. So I drew these 7 coins hanging from these vines, and so this is 7 of Pentacles. And then I mirrored it on the right side of the page, and then I used another piece of paper to write March. Now for those people who are not good at lettering, you can use fontspace.com to look up for different fonts. So there is a facility to type in the word that you are actually planning on writing, and then there's also an option to find different kinds of fonts. So I just type in words like swirls or cursive and things like that to find fonts like this, and then when you type in the actual word that you want to write, you see exactly how that particular word is going to look in that particular font. So after that, I just use that as a reference to write down my titles. For this particular title, I just used a copper kind of a metallic pen that I had and filled it in, and then cut around it, leaving a little white space around the title to just give it sort of a contrast against that black sky and to make it stand out more. And then I added some white highlights using a jelly roll pen. I also looked up for some tarot elements on Google, and I added it in the black sky with a gold pen. Don't ask me what they mean, because I have no idea. I just found them really cute. As I said, I am just going with the decorative elements of the card. For the shading of the leaves and to give it more depth, what I did was I used the lightest green that I had on the leaves, and then went over it with a darker one, and then over it with an even darker one. So that's how I give depth to my drawings. Just use the lightest shade, then go over it with the darker and the darkest. So also you can try keeping the darker shades on one side of the leaf or one side of the vine, giving it an impression as if the light is hitting the vines from one side and the other side is in the dark. Also, if you want to show that some vines are in front of the other, you color the vines that are behind the front ones with the darkest green that you have. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to explain, but you can see what I'm doing, right? So even if I'm not great at explaining, you'll know what I'm doing. I tried adding black fine liner and to outline the whole thing, after which I realized that it was still looking a bit plain, so I added black to the background, and then I went over the outlines with my gold uniball pen. After all the time that I spent and all the efforts that I made to make this page look pretty, I think it turned out great. I love how it looks, and I'm really happy. It looks so magical, so rich, so decorative. I also added a little calendar to my cover page and a little section for which is called Note to Self. It's just a monthly summary for me, a lesson that I've learned this month, something that I have been following from the start of this year. So this is how my cover page looks. I think it looks magical with the gold and the black. Next, after the cover page, I wanted to draw a calendar. Oh, and I could not find a single card out of the 72 cards, I want to say. I could not find a single card that helped me draw this calendar, so I just went with the 10 of Wands. Now, Wands is another element that you will see recurring. So there is Ace of Wands and 7 of Wands and 10 of Wands and things like that. So I just used 10 of Wands. Basically, wands are basically these stick-like structures with little leaves sprouting at the end. So to replicate that, I just made these wand-like structures with vines going around them, and I think it turned out pretty decent. Not exactly my best spread, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. The next spread is my Doodle of the Month page, which is a page that I've been doing again from the beginning of this year. This has really helped me pick up a pencil and draw on paper, because since I've started using Procreate, I've lost this habit of drawing on paper, which I don't want, because what I've started doing is I draw on this page every month, and then click a picture of it, and I use it and I insert it on my Procreate file when I'm drawing, and then I trace it with my Procreate pen. So I think this has given me an opportunity to create kind of a sketchbook in my journal. So for my weeklies, what I've done is I've created 5 different cards from the tarot deck, and as I show you each week, I will tell you about each card. So the first week is the Empress. Basically, you can see the original image, and I've tried to pick up some of the elements from it. And for the first week, what I did was I picked up one element from that card, which was an ear of wheat. And I've used it as a decorative element for my first week. So this is going to be the exact way in which I'll be doing all my weeks. I'll just be using a different card, and I'll be using a different element in every week. So the first card, as I said, was the Empress. Now the Empress has a few elements in it, like the specter, the crown, and the cross around her neck, and the ear of wheat, of course. And also the pomegranate. Pomegranate is basically a very common element in some of the tarot cards. You'll see it in another card too, which I've used in this journal. Similar to my cover page of the month, I'm coloring the empty space on the Dutch door with black, and then going over the outlines of the wheat with gold, adding some swirls and stars and sparkles. Now the second week, I went for the sun. Now the Rider-Waite deck has got a very, very happy baby on a horse, with the sun beaming behind him, and it's such a happy card, but I did not have the time to draw the baby and do all the elaborate things, but so I just picked up the sun from the card and the sunflowers. It's just a happy card. It makes me so happy. I had it as my wallpaper for some time. For the decorative element, of course, as you can see, I've used the sunflowers. I just try to draw the sunflowers in a way that they kind of align with the sunflowers on the Dutch door. For the third week, I used a tarot card which is called the Strength. It's a beautiful card with this lady sort of taming this wild lion, and she's got an infinity symbol on her head. So I find it very powerful, and so I just recreated it in my way, and I sort of used the flowers. I don't know what flowers they were on the card. I just felt that like they would look like poppies, so that's why I used poppies on her. I added some poppies to her hair, and then I used poppies as a decorative element, and because I had no other place to put that infinity, I added it as a pin on her hair. My next card is the Moon. Now this particular card is very different from the Rider-Waite deck, because in that card there is a moon and two mongrels, I think, barking at the moon. As I said, I was really running short on time because I had spent so much time on the cover, and I knew that I had to edit the whole video and record the voice and everything. It was going to take me a long time, so that's why I kept it very simple. I just created this beautiful blue-black moon card using the clouds as the element, because I thought that was the simplest that I could do. But somehow this simple looking week turned out to be my most favorite one. For the last week, I have this card which is called the Temperance. Now, Temperance card, on the Temperance card, you can see this woman pouring like water from one chalice to the other. So I'm just using that same thing. It had some yellow flowers in the background, so I added those yellow flowers to her hair, and then she also has this triangular symbol on her chest, so I use that for her pendant. And then I'm using these yellow daffodil like flowers for, as the decorative element to fill the weekly spread. Now for my tracker, this month I decided that I'm going through some health issues and I want to track my weight because it keeps fluctuating. So I thought I'll just create a weight tracker, and for that I'm using the High Priestess card as my design. It's a beautiful card with this woman sitting on a chair with a moon on her head, and then a lot of pomegranates in the background. So I thought I will use those pomegranates as sections to write my weight. So I have 31 pomegranates for the month of March, in which I will be writing down my weight every day. On this card you will see like two pillars, one black, one white, with B and J written on it. All I know about this is these are the pillars of the Solomon's Temple, which was the first temple in Jerusalem. I won't try to explain more, but that's how it is. So I wanted to use that element, but I did not know where to add the pillar. I had no space for it, so I created this robe like clothing for her, and I kept one part of it black and one part of it white and wrote B and J on it, and that's it. I kept it really simple, and I did not want to color in way too much in this one. So after this, I also wanted an expense tracker, not a regular expense tracker, but a tracker for me to just write down some extra expenses, like if I'm buying any clothes or cosmetics or some art supplies or anything which is out of the ordinary. I really wanted to keep track of that. For that, what I did was I used an envelope and a vertical one, and then I just stuck another card that I created. The card is called the Star. Now this one again has nothing, it looks nothing like the original Rider-Waite card. I just drew a star, and I used the flowers, which was a lotus like flowers for it, but then I just stuck it on the envelope. So the envelope, the flap of the envelope has been glued inside, so it's open on the top. So all I did was I slid a postcard inside, a blank postcard inside, on which I'll be writing down my expenses. I thought this was very neat because this way it looks looks very decorative, but I can keep my expenses hidden from everyone else. So that's it for my month of March. I will show you a flip through of my book. Hope you like it. So until next time, happy journaling and have a good day. Bye bye.